So you ready to get this show on the road, boss?
If I'm gonna do this, I don't want to hurt people.
No fun in that. But look, you're the overboss. You decide you want to sweet-talk the poor sods we're gonna be dealing with instead of filling them full of lead. That's up to you. But I can't change the fact that you're gonna have to run some people out of their homes so we can give them to the gangs. No one said being boss was gonna be easy. Now, you just say if this is something you're ready to move on.
Okay, let's get started.
Music to my ears.
Shank ain't kidding. This is gonna be all kinds of fun.
So getting us set up in the Commonwealth's gonna require 3 things. Territory, provisions, and loyalty. First things first, territory. We're gonna need to claim a settlement for our gang to work from, an outpost. And there are 2 ways to claim new territory. You can head in yourself and convince the locals to leave, or I can get a crew together and you all can put them in the dirt. How you do it is up to you. So, first big decision. You want to talk them off their land, or you want to wipe them out?
I think you know what I'd rather do, boss.
How does that choice affect our bottom line?
Well, settlers will probably rally some bodies if you try and wipe them out, but it's a guaranteed way to claim a spot. If you try to scare them off their land, there's a chance they might just tell you to take a hike. At that point, you might be able to buy them off. But it could end up getting expensive if you don't work them over a bit first. Beyond just that, there are some places out there overrun with trouble. Ghouls, children of Adam and the like. Those places aren't going to be interested in having a chat. So you're going to have more options if you go in guns blazing.
Let me talk to them. I'll convince them to leave.
Works for me. Once you've planted your flag in the place, I'll send a crew in to set up shop. Now, next up, you'll have to pick who you want to hold your outpost once it's established. Of course, every outpost you claim for a gang is going to be something the other gangs don't have. And none of them like the thought of their rivals getting a leg up on them. Worth thinking over as you dole out more territory. So, which gang should I have join you once you've staked your claim?
The operators.
Got it. I'm sure they'll appreciate you thinking of them.
I bet you they can manage to keep looking bored through the whole thing.
That just leaves the target. Now, for a new outpost, you'll usually want to target a spot with plenty of populated settlements nearby that might be able to feed our people later on. Taffington Boathouse, Croup Manor, Greentop Nursery, the Slog all had a good number of farms within striking distance last I checked. Though I'll need to go through my notes again, make sure they're all still good to target. We're not always going to be able to run every job against every settlement. So, you ready to pick the spot for Nuka World's first new homestead?
What were those targets you recommended before?
Croup Manor, Taffington Boathouse, Greentop Nursery, and the Slog. Again, I can't guarantee those will all be available targets till I check my notes. But if they are, they're certainly a good place to start. Now, you ready to make your decision?
I'm ready.
Good. So, where do you want to hit? Wait, pretty sure that place is one of yours, boss. That's where you want to hit?
Does that matter?
Only if you want to keep control of it. Targeting a settlement for a job is gonna break whatever connections you might have had to the place. Worth taking a moment to consider how much you like having that spot under your thumb. So, that the target?
That one's the target.
Ruthless. So, To get these folks to scram, you got two main options. Buy them out, or scare them off. Either way, the more afraid they are, the simpler or cheaper getting them gone will be. Lizzie Wyeth over with the operators should have some toys that'll make running them off easier. And it's worth keeping in mind, the more populated or fortified a place is, the more prep you're gonna want to do before trying to run them off. Scare them good, boss.
Oh, hey, boss. I didn't see you there.
Showing the operators a good life, ain't you, boss?
Respect around here. You gotta earn it. Of course, handing over new boats hasn't hurt.
If it ain't the big bad overboss, couldn't have shown up a year ago, huh?
Hey, Lizzie.
Overboss. A pleasure. Shank said you might need some tools to ease relations with the people of the Commonwealth. Well, you've come to the right place. I've put together a couple of toys that should make getting what you want out of those rubes easier. Only thing we ask in return is that you remember the operators when you're handing out new territory on the other side of the mountains.
What exactly have you got?
So, first up, something to manipulate a target. It's a homemade distillation brewed to mimic human flight pheromones. Toss one of these grenades at the feet of your target, and convincing the wary settler suddenly becomes a much simpler affair. Now, to function effectively, I had to make the formula precise. So it's not going to work on people in any of the big towns like Bunker Hill or Diamond City, nor on caravanners. But for your purposes, hitting settlements out in the Commonwealth, it ought to give you a serious edge.
So it only works at settlements. Are there any other restrictions I need to know about?
Nothing beyond that. I've been trying to get the formulas working better for more varied environments. But for now, the current brew should serve.
Stink bombs. Lovely.
Just give them a try first, Overboss. I think you'll enjoy the results. Here, only had enough to make the one locally. But you can take the recipe as well, should you find yourself wanting more. So, the other trick up our sleeve is a little more broad spectrum than the grenades. Gulp down a couple lungfuls, and anyone you speak to will be far more apt to give you what you want. Plus, I've winnowed down the addiction risk to near zero, so no need to fear repeat usage. Here, ingredients for that one have been tricky to find, but between that and the grenade, you should have no problem getting at least one settlement under your control before you have to brew up your own. And just remember us when you're crushing those poor settlers underfoot, hmm?
Understanding the operators ain't hard. We know how to live. The other gangs, dying is more their strong suit.
Don't worry, Overboss. I'll ensure you have all the people you need. You just keep the territory coming.
Hey, Mags.
Have some work, Overboss, that I think may be up your alley. Interested?
I'm listening.
The Disciples have made an annoyance of themselves, yet again. Sounds like they're trying to make a new ally out in the wastes. I'd like the chance to present our case. Make him wear this shock collar. You can either sneak up to him and attach it, or beat him into submission and then do it.
Free and in charge today, tomorrow, somebody's slave. Ain't life something?
Who am I up against?
A super mutant gang. Effectively target practice.
If I scratch your back, I expect you'll scratch mine.
When it's all said and done, there will be caps.
Sign me up.
Then I'll leave you to it.
Mag's always